You want to fight him again?
Yeah, for sure. We gotta make that bag.
That bad.
My first contract is signed for immediate rematch, when there's a draw or if in the case of a draw or if I win. So I'm already contractually signed to a rematch. It's on him.
Been amateurs together, so I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming in there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would, and I thought he won the fight personally.
Furthermore, Gervonta Davis has finally spoken out about agreeing to a contract for a rematch with Lamont Roach. Tank has accepted some responsibility for his performance, acknowledging that he wasn't totally focused during the fight. He also acknowledged that he could have performed better in the rematch, which is now scheduled for soon. This self-reflection shows that Davis is conscious of his shortcomings and is driven to address them going forward, with the fight now confirmed, as his chance to make amends and silence detractors. This rematch is one of the most anticipated fights in recent boxing history, as both fighters are getting ready to resolve the dispute.
Stopped him. I could have stopped him. It's me. It's me. Definitely my fault. Definitely my fault. It's all right. You know what I mean? You live and you learn. I definitely could have. That was on me too. That was on me for sure. Because I ain't pick it up when I supposed to pick it up. And I could have definitely did more. Definitely did more.
Respected boxing expert Devin Haney offered his opinions on Lamont Roach's performance by claiming to have known Roach since childhood and praising him for his efforts during the fight, stressing that he thought Roach had done enough to earn his support. This lends validity to Roach's claims of victory and encourages more discussion regarding the fight's conclusion.
And finally, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Gervonta Tank Davis situation. What was your assessment on his fight against Lamont Roach, and what are your thoughts on the knockdown that wasn't called in round 9?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good fight overall. Lamont, I always knew Lamont was, he wasn't coming to lay down. I've been knowing Lamont since we was kids, so we came up in amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming in there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would, and I thought he won the fight personally. Yeah, the no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own two eyes, and yeah.
Yeah, you were, you've made some comments. I wanted to see the backflip, and I'm surprised Tank didn't say nothing back to you about that.
Hey, I was just speaking my opinion on it.
There has been increasing conjecture on a rematch between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis, with rumors indicating that, considering the controversy surrounding their previous battle, the fight might happen in June of this year. There is now pressure on Davis to prove himself and silence those who think Roach deserved to win.
Rumors are swirling that Gervonta Davis could be back in the ring around June to rematch Lamont Roach. Hopefully there's some truth to that, because Tank needs to redeem himself immediately.
The rematch is...
Given that both Davis and Roach had evidence from their initial meeting, a rematch is anticipated, ended in dispute, leaving fans split on the outcome. A rematch would give both fighters a chance to definitively end the argument.
It needs to happen again because both fighters have something to prove. I just saw a tweet from Gervonta Davis saying that he was going to activate the rematch. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Would I like to see this fight happen? Yes, I would like to see a fight happen again, because I think that the next fight is going to be a whole lot better. And I think the next fight is going to end with somebody being on the canvas, in my opinion. But I think that Lamont Roach, I want to give a shout out to Lamont Roach for putting up such a amazing performance. We never seen anyone stand there toe-to-toe with Gervonta Davis. We never seen anyone there throwing punches, power punches, at Tank Davis and not being knocked out. And I also want to commend Tank, because Tank didn't have to take this fight.
Another is Julian Gonzalez. The fighter thinks Lamont Roach will win in the event of a rematch. He said that both combatants would arrive ready, addressing the errors they committed in the first battle to guarantee a better performance Gonzalez's. Faith in, according to Roach, the challenger has a genuine chance to win.
I feel like wins the rematch.
Who wins the rematch?
Yeah.
They're both gonna come ready again. See, the first one was a tough one too. I had Lamont pulling it off, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, smudge. I wasn't mad at the draw. I'm gonna rock with Lamont though.
Think Lamont takes it?
It's hard.
Close, yo.
Because Lamont surprised me a lot, you know? So, yeah, I'm going to say Lamont, man.
One of Lamont Roach's sparring partners was upset about the altercation's outcome, claiming that Roach actually won but was robbed due to the influence Davis holds in the boxing world. He hinted that the judges may have been swayed by Davis's power and status, rather than scoring the fight fairly.
Man, Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis.
Absolutely.
First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely, I mean, East Baltimore all day. But I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, you know, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else, he made me believe in Kent for real. Because me and him like have similar personalities. You know what I mean, as far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont, so everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying? But actually when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob him, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know what I mean? You can't deceive the people that's there for what they saying for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod in the decision.
Especially with all the other controversy too. It should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works, but I mean, we running it back for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
The trainer of Gervonta Davis recognized Roach's abilities and outlined how their approach to the fight had been carefully organized. He suggested that if a rematch were to happen, they wouldn't make drastic changes, but would simply require minor adjustments to achieve a clearer victory for Davis.
Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, that they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity, you know?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of rematches, Jalil Hackett is getting his opportunity again to fight the guy that he had a controversial loss to. It'll be happening in Florida, I think, next week?
March 15th, I think.
Let's talk about
I'm rocking a major shirt now.
Major.
Yes, sir.
Cano Alvarez provided commentary on the controversy involving Davis's decision to knee during the altercation, saying that if a fighter willingly takes a knee, they can be disqualified under tame circumstances. His remarks offer further tear to the argument regarding whether the referee handled the situation correctly.
Did Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point, and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus the corner go up and put a towel in the face, that's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my business.
Many fans have ridiculed Gervonta Davis for his excuse that his hair was too greasy, which led to him taking a knee in the struggle. Critics believe this was a weak explanation and argue that a true champion would not have relied on such justifications. This controversy has only increased demand for a rematch. Do you have any oil in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions?
Any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, you got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Like, hey, bro, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't. I know what you're going to do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roy.
Renowned commentator Joe Rogan has insisted that a rematch between Davis and Roach must happen. He argued that Davis could not go away from the debate as boxing fans deserve to see the fight settled in a fair and decisive manner.
Everybody saw it. You can't get around what everybody saw. Look, it wasn't a legit knockdown like he hurt Tank. Tank did have some shit in his eyes, but what are you doing putting shit in your hair when you have a world title fight? That's crazy.
And no one want to hear about it in the middle of a fight. No one cares. If a fly by, drop the ball, bro.
Right.
Drop the damn ball. We don't care if a fly flew by your helmet or your eyes.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about that.
You can't be a championship fighter and taking a knee and putting on those type of performances.
Also, what are they putting in his hair? That when he's sweating it is dripping into his eyes. Like, what is that shit?
Yeah.
Bro, shave your head.
Weird, right? Yeah, exactly.
Shave your fucking head. Who cares?
Like, don't be pretty boy. You better go get this fight.
Get those fucking braids out of there. You don't need those.
Joe Rogan.
Additionally, Joe Rogan weighed on the crucial occasion when Davis took a knee in the 9th round. He stated that if a combatant willingly falls on one knee, it need to be regarded as a knockdown. His study implies that the referee may have committed an error in ruling that impacted the battle's outcome.
Lamont Roach fight?
Yeah, that was trash.
Well, I thought it was a good fight. You didn't think
great fight, but I just champion guy taking a knee, talking about greasing his hair.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm like, yo, how you just in the middle of the fight just go wipe your face?
Also, here's the deal: if you take a knee, that's a knockdown.
That's a knockdown. Subtract 2, right?
You got hit with a jab.
Yeah.
You took a knee,
and then you walked off.
Exactly. That is a knockdown.
Yeah.
So I think they're reviewing that right now.
Nah, that guy should have lost, maybe.
Well, I feel like if they do review it and they do judge it as a knockdown, which it was clearly a knockdown to everybody,
a knockdown.
You take a knee, that's a knockdown.
If you
I
walk
think
off
they will probably give it to Lamont.
This is a very interesting rule. They have a power slap that kind of talks about what you guys were just discussing.
Gervonta
Davis has long been accused of picking and choosing. His critics claim that he takes battles that are advantageous to him rather than the hardest challengers in order to keep an unblemished record. This impression is further fueled by the controversies surrounding the Roach fight.
That fight with Tank and Lamont Roach shows y'all how protected Tank has been for the past several years. And the people saying, oh, Tank know Lamont and he been respected Lamont because they fought in the amateurs. Man, he was cherry picking Lamont, and really thought he was going to get that win. But Lamont wasn't coming to play around. He stood his ground and fought back. And to be honest, he won the fight. The rematch is going to be a knockout.
Several